And we're live. It's been a while. Wait, hold on. Uh-oh. We might be having an issue with audio. I don't think I'm catching any of you. Hold on. Yep. Let's see if we can fix that really quick. Somebody
It's
say
your
something.
net, is what it's
Did
saying.
the inputs
There
get
we
switched?
go. Yeah. Somehow they got switched.
Haha.
Fixed.
Yay.
Good now?
Should be good.
Can
Everyone,
you
are they
hear
good?
me now?
Can you hear them?
Should be
Yes.
good.
All right.
Yeah. I can
Alright,
see you
alright.
guys raising on the thing. I don't know how that happened.
Aha.
Well, anyway. It's a good Tuesday, and by that I mean Monday. First Tuesday? That's what it is.
First Tuesday.
So, today we're doing something ever so slightly different. But before we get into that, oh god, I'm so unprepared for this. What happened last time? So, if I remember correctly, last time we started with a debate with Darnell, and also there were two of them. Things went badly at first in the quest to save Tiny.
Well, bad, yeah.
Well,
Lena
Roll
did
credits.
fine.
How many times did Lena almost die?
did a great job.
Lena only almost died twice compared to everybody else's 0 times, but it's all right.
Hey,
Because the
hold on.
doctor's here.
I think we would have all died a little bit inside if Lena had gone away.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. So
I mean,
thank you to the doctor
sure.
for bringing me back from 1 hit point 2
Truly.
times within a 20-minute confrontation.
Maybe even less.
So ultimately, the mission to save Tiny, who is Rose Wolf's sister, went well. They defeated the horrible person, but they ended on a uneasy truce for a moment, because Lena, Megan's character, gave him the name of the person they stole the Iron Eye for. Well, at least that's what Lena wants Darnell to think. In reality, Lena gave Darnell the name of the person who killed a person that she loved in the past. So, like, whatever happens there is probably fine. I'm sure nothing bad can come from that. Ever.
It's gonna be fine.
Afterwards, our lovely jailbirds of Starfall Spire, thank you, Sam, for the name, made their way back to their home, Starfall Spire, and kind of just collected themselves together. But we're not going to be picking up right after that, because a couple of things did happen. They learned about the doctor's mysterious plague he has by helping their mail carrier who had it, Zakar. And they got a letter from Arvis, specifically to the doctor, asking to come visit. Now, we're not going to be picking up exactly right after that, because we're going to have a few little stories today, little slices out of Valarith. And we're going to start with Ferris, if that sounds all right with everyone.
Sure.
All right. Why don't, Ferris, you're home, and someone's going to knock on your door. Paint me a bit of a picture as to what's going on when that happens.
Is this? I assume this is the door to the whole flat, not just
Yes.
my room. Okay.
Yes.
Well, I suppose Faris is probably still training with her new ? Spear. Still trying to. That was the other thing that happened. Faris's spear got broken, and then Lena said she'd fix it, but just made a whole new one, and then told her that she fixed the old one. So.
Yeah.
So yeah, Faris is like hard at work training, and if anyone was around, they would notice she seems pretty frustrated with herself. So she's being like very sort of fixed on it. So she might not even notice the knock at the door right away. And it might take like another louder knock before she finally goes over to answer the door. She looks like this. Oh, fine! And storms over to answer the door, assuming it's just like the doctor's left his keys behind or something.
So you yank open the door, and you see a figure who you have met once before. Alika Saidu. This is the individual who freed y'all from prison. Seems like so long ago now. And she's staring right at you, and you just have this immediate recognition that you're the person she was looking for.
Hi. She kind of tries to wipe like this look of annoyance she had on her face away as quickly as she can. Just, yeah, like, hi, didn't think I'd be seeing you again.
Question. Does Ferris train in armor or just the weapon?
She's probably training in her armor so she can get used to the like weight of the new spear with the weight of her armor.
Okay. Sorry for the intrusion. It's convenient. You're already suited up and ready. I need a warrior. Are you that warrior?
I could be. What do you need a warrior for exactly? I get the
It's
general
kind of
gist
urgent.
of it.
We don't
but,
you don't fully have time to explain right now. If you can come with me and we can walk and talk.
Okay, well, I owe you, so sure.
You don't owe me anything. And she turns and walks off, just a few steps off, and looks back to make sure you're following.
Yeah, she'll like her spear away and kind of tuck it behind her, and
Spear like
follow.
shrinks, magic-ishly, right?
Yeah, I mentioned last time that it kind of does like a thing, like the Dora Milaje spears in Black Panther. Like it just retracts so that she's not carrying just like this massive spear on her at all times, which might scare people.
Well, that's constantly scare people. Once you catch up in the hallway, I imagine you're like heading to the lift. Because fun fact, you have a magical lift that goes up and down the tower.
Of course we do.
We're opening another one of the Baron's vaults. We're still trying to protect the city from things left over from before. Last one we opened killed 12. We need to be being more careful this time.
So they're trapped?
Most of them. All the ones that have things we need.
What sort of traps?
Last one let out a creature of blade and chain. It rampaged through parts of the Undercity. Killed 12
I thought you
before
were
we
going
were
to
able
say
to fix it.
that they just exploded or something. That's harder.
Well, if there was just an explosion, why would I need a warrior?
I don't know. Sorry, I'm not really thinking straight. Yeah, I mean, I can fight whatever for you.
And it's kind of a moment, kind of the bottom left, and the door starts open. She doesn't move to the door for a second, locks her gaze, and says, "You don't have to do this if you don't want to. It's your call."
Oh no, I'm happy to help you anytime. We got in a fight yesterday. I kind of fucked up a little bit, but I'm sure I'll be better today.
She nods and leads the way out of the lift, out into Mr. Batinga's shop, because, you know, that's the structure here. Batinga looks over, lights up on Ferris's face, looks over and sees Alika, and there's like I'm not gonna interrupt things. Like, that person's important. Maybe I shouldn't. And he just kind of gives you a discreet wave.
Yeah, Ferris will give him a friendly nod.
As you step outside, there is another woman who falls in with lockstep with you and Alika. She is well-muscled, has a mid to long length sword strapped across the small of her back, that's on a rotating connection, so it's currently cocked up so the handle comes over the shoulder, but seems to be designed for that to shift down to waistline and be drawn that way. She has a shock of purple hair and ropes wrapped around her forearms.
I'm assuming I haven't met this person before.
You do not recognize this person. She squares off directly at you, puts out a hand and says, "Reyna, I'm helping out."
Ferris, also helping out. I'll shake her hand.
Alika says, "Nice for everyone to be meeting everyone. Now, we really do need to be quick. This is the entire team today. We don't want to risk more like last time."
Of course. Yeah, take us where we need to go. We won't waste any time.
Once again, walking across the city, heading towards the King Tower, which is the central tower in the city, where the beacon that lights over the top of the city, like a large lighthouse, is based. As you're walking, she says, we're hoping we can find an iron eye.
Why?
Well, we need one to control the city properly, give access to all of the facilities and options, give us proper liberation from the past. Daronel apparently found one but had it stolen by some thieves. We're trying to look through that avenue, but knowing Daronel, he might have made up the whole thing that he's an absolute reptile.
Oh yeah, from what I hear, he's disgusting.
From there, you travel down into a lift that goes downward. And the lifts that go down under the city aren't particularly uncommon because there's a whole set of them that go all the way through down to the hangs that are hanging underneath the city. But this one stops partway in, letting off into an underground complex, part sewer, part dungeon. Alika just leads you through pretty quietly. Reyna is keeping an eye on you, but seems relatively at ease.
Mm-hmm. So, did you two run together during the revolution? Is that how you know each other?
To be honest, I haven't actually worked with Alika before. I'm just here on reputation, I guess, like you.
Oh, okay. Are you a newcomer then, or?
I haven't been in town too long, but I've got some storied past. She smiles at you. A nice guarded smile.
Yep. Varys gives her one back.
Nice armor, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Don't see that stuff like that very often. Sure, there's a story there.
Yeah, but it would be too boring to tell now.
And then out from in front of Lika's. And we're here. And in front of you is a large vault door with this whole apparatus, multiple locks. It looks like some adventurer types spent a lot of time at this, but almost everything is unlocked, undone. All the glowing red runes have turned blue and happy, and there's just like one last piece, a dial turn that has been left undone.
Mhm.
Alika puts her hand up on the dial and then turns to the two of you and says, "Last chance."
I'm here. Let's do this. I'm not gonna
Same.
back down now.
All right.
Draws her
She-
spear.
Yeah. Reyna brings the sword down and draws it across, holding it backhand style. It's got a very wide blood gutter through it. And straight blade.
Actually, I'm gonna cast Fiery Avenger preemptively on my spear.
Could you remind me what that does? Like, I know, but I want the stream to hear it.
That's fine. So the chosen weapon ignites in a magical flame of any color, so it just like bursts into these fiery solar flames. While the weapon is on fire, it acts as a torch that casts light nearby. The flame increases the weapon's damage by 1. Flame persists until you roll a failure or worse on an attack with the weapon.
Delightful. So your spear lights into fire in preparation, like the blazing sun. She takes a breath, draws her sword in her other hand, a shorter, curved number, and takes a breath. And as soon as that resounding kathunk rolls through, you hear the release of air, but it doesn't stop. As these doors start to open up, a plume of acrid purple gas rolls forward.
Damn it.
If you could, for me, roll the die to try to avoid immediately bad things.
Okay. That is a 14.
That's a full success. So, as this gas is rolling forward, you hear coughs and sputters, and the three of you back off a little bit to stay safe. Reyna coughs out, "It's petrifying gas."
That sounds terrifying. Are both of you okay?
Before they can respond, two figures begin alighting through the gas, which seems to be spraying out from a pointed location deep inside. Two hulking, gear-laden constructs with dragging blades. And as you see one of these come forward, it begins raising an arm, and you can smell death on it after all this time. But you're a protagonist, you get to act first. What do you want to do?
Well, I know I just lit up my weapon, but preemptively I will Thunderous Word both of them in case they have any special abilities, so that they cannot use those special abilities during their next turn. So Varys just immediately, like, on point as soon as she sees any kind of threat, just utters her word of power, Solaris, and this, like, corona of solar energy just emanates from her and knocks both of the creatures back, dealing 2 points of damage and preventing them from using any special abilities.
So, as you invoke this thunderous wave brushes across them. They both slide back on their large heels, leaving gashes in the stone floor. They do not relent for long, however, as they lumber forward, and one of them that was bringing its arm up tips this large, jagged blade with an edged front and a width almost of your entire neck, and just forward, right at Reyna. And much to its chagrin, she jumps neatly and lands on top of the blade. The other one is going to lumber forward, and it takes out his other hand and going to attempt to grab you, Ferris. Which is going to be a success. She as this thing, its hand the size of you, just squeezes, and it's going to deal 3 damage.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, Faris like snarls in its grip.
Yeah. Alika calls out, "The gas is coming from somewhere. I'm going to deal with it." And she takes a big breath and runs in past these lumbering creatures. The one that isn't holding you turns to try to follow, and Reyna is going to run up its arm, take the blade, and just try to bury it in its neck, which is going to be moderately successful. What would you like to do? Back to you.
Ooh. Would trying to escape from its grip like take my turn? Like, how does it work in this?
So it was
system?
going to, but it you took away all its special abilities, and I'm not entirely sure if that counts, but I'm saying it does today. So that was just a fancy attack.
Oh, okay. So I'm free to like move and everything.
Yeah.
Faris will like kick her way out of its grip and immediately run after the one that's going after Alika and like embed her spear in its back.
All right.
That is a 12.
That's a tough choice because of the house rules we use. Okay, so your options are you get it good, but you'll have to roll to protect against the petrifying gas again. Or you do half damage. Your call.
What would half of 3 be in the system we're running? Up or down?
I think it's 1.
Okay, I'll go for the full damage and roll against the petrified gas again.
All right. The gas catches in your throat as you feel your muscles start to harden.
Nice, that's a 19.
All right. You feel a little like stiffening of parts of your body, and particularly in your ankles and your feet, but you pull through and are able to continue to finish the strike. And how do you spear this thing? It's maybe like twice as tall as you.
She like runs full pelt at it and kind of like does a cool kick off the ground and like in midair just embeds her spear in its back, which is currently on fire. So it like the spear embeds in and then flames like surge around the wound.
Oh right, your spear's on fire.
Yeah.
So, fun fact about that gas. So as you are stabbing this thing, and there's this plume of fire, because I believe it like expends when you hit them, right?
No, it just continues until either I miss an attack or I dismiss it.
Well, there's a plume of fire, and when that happens, parts of this gas start to blaze alight. And it doesn't like explodes. I know stoichiometry better than that. But it's going to do 2 damage to you and to this thing. And I think just the 2 of you.
Good to know.
That's 9, and you've taken 2.
Okay.
This one is going to wheel around from where it's at, change its focus over to you, and is going. You can see it sparks as part of it does stop working properly, and it just falls on you, like full on. Like I'm going out, but I'm gonna take you out too.
Oh damn. Okay. Do I get to try and dodge that, or is it just gonna happen?
It rolls to get you, which it rolled a triumph, so it doubles damage. So that's going to be, actually I'm going to do this. That is 4 damage, but you are now stuck underneath it, mildly impaled, as it breaks apart on top of you. That also gets Reyna, but she's going to try to deal with the situation as you see one of her hands whip into a certain position, and the ropes around her wrist start to uncurl and go out and latch onto a piece of stonework and constrict and actually pull her out from underneath this mechanical wreckage. And she gets up and she looks down to you, and she's gonna try to get you out too. So I'm gonna share you roll for that because you're a protagonist.
Okay. 16.
That's a success, and she managed to pull you out as well.
Awesome. She's like, oh,
So there's
thank
one
you.
left. She breathes, coughs, and she looks and says, "No problem." And then you see one of her legs petrify into stone, just below the knee,
Okay.
and she gasps in pain. It's Hugo.
How close is the other creature to us?
In game terms, it is nearby.
Okay, as in like, if she gets
That
stuck
means you can
there
move
because
and
her
do
leg
stuff
is.
immediately.
Yeah, I mean, if she gets stuck there because her leg is turned to stone, is she in like immediate danger if I'm engaging with it still?
No, Alika has disappeared into the gas.
Sorry,
And
I
is
meant
no longer
Raina.
nearby.
I meant
Oh,
Raina.
Raina. No, yeah, Raina could move to and attack Raina from where it's at. Yeah.
Faris like looks at the leg and kind of frowns and then stares back at the creature. Is gonna like step in front of Raina, and Raina would see like all of Faris's tattoos and her eyes just light up and ignite as she mutters Solaris again and casts Smite on the creature.
What'd that do?
So Smite.
That's what I don't know.
It's a new one, that's why. So Smite, you engulf the target in radiant flame, hitting it for 10 damage. If the damage dealt is enough to kill the creature, it explodes into ash and its body and spirit are permanently obliterated. If you destroy a creature with Smite, roll the die. On a 2 to 20, nothing happens. On a 1, the creature's spirit becomes a dark passenger in your mind, and you never know when it may decide to speak to you or observe your behavior. It's a spicy skill.
Did you say 10?
It deals 10 damage, yeah.
Well, So tell me how you destroy it.
So yeah, it's like this moment where every sort of tattoo on her body is just ignited all at once, and there's even like little flames flickering off of her as she just stares directly into this creature's eye and almost like calmly utters the word Solaris, and it just completely ignites in flame, like its entire body just
In a moment, there is a flash of light, the brightness of the sun, and when it diminishes, it is ashen. You land back on the ground, realizing that you've done that like final power moment where you raise into the ground off the air just a little bit, even though the flight doesn't quite make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Raina goes, "Oh shit! Don't piss off you." We realize in that moment that the petrifying gas has stopped and is beginning to disperse.
Okay. Yeah, Faris sort of. Oh, I need to roll for the smite thing. Sorry.
It doesn't have a spirit.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. Okay. Yeah, Faris is almost like her gaze is still locked on where the creature was, just staring at the pile of ash for a moment, and then she sort of snaps out of it, turns back to look at Raina. Are you okay? Do we need to treat that, or will it wear off? I've never encountered anything like that before.
I have a doctor friend. I should be okay.
Can you move?
Yeah, it's and it moves like that part's rigid, but you can definitely like dunk
Right.
forward. Her gait's a little different now. At that point, the gas is fully dissipated, and you can see on the ground, hunched in a kneeling position, is a statue that once was Alika.
No. Faris is going to run to its side immediately.
Well, it's a good thing I have a friend. So you run to its side. What do you do?
She's just staring at it, like crouched down beside the statue that was once Alika. Can your friend fix this to this extent? Like, I have a doctor friend too. I don't know if he can treat something like this, though.
My friend. My guy. His name's Filler. Dr. Filler. Call him Dart, though. I've never seen him not fix something before. Has your friend ever not been able to fix something?
He pretty much is the only thing keeping all of our bodies together, so... Sorry, I shouldn't joke right now. How close by does your friend live?
We take the lift to that. Come on, help me lift this. And she kind
was
of,
already like...
she's walked over and she links the arms around.
Under it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Roll me a d6
Okay. 4.
for reasons. All right. You are able to, with Reyna, lift this statue up. The moment it's heavy, it's literally a stone.
Yeah.
But you are able to get it out of this vault. You can see now that the gas is dissipated that like it goes deeper and stuff, but I'm assuming you have a plan here that is a little exclusive.
I mean, all Faris is thinking about is making sure Alika is okay and not a statue forever. So, yeah.
Arena is having some mild difficulty carrying, but she seems to be managing just fine.
Yeah, Faris will like as much of her strength into it as possible, given that Reyna is also semi-injured or semi-affected by the gas. So she's trying to take as much of the weight as she can. She's a big, strong lass.
Yeah, and both of you are strong. Just one of you is a little less steady than usual. You both get down to the lift, and there's a so you command the lift by saying different command words to different places, and Reyna just utters out a medium length string of syllables that are kind of sharp, and it begins descending downward. And after that, you both just set down this statue hard in the lift, and it actually, the arcane propulsion kind of for a second.
I want to make sure none of this statue is like crumbling off or anything,
No.
in case that affects. Don't want to like lose a hand or something, you know.
Reasonable. So far it seems good, although both of you are being quite careful.
Yeah. The thing that happened to your leg, is that spreading or is it stopped where it is?
She looks down. She has like shorts, roughly speaking, but they're like period shorts. And she pulls up one side, and you can see some tattoos in purple that match the purple of her hair. And she's looking, and I don't think so.
Okay, good.
Are you okay?
A bit worse for wear, but I didn't breathe in any of the gas, so I'm fine in that regard.
She looks at you like the crumpled pieces of your armor that have been smacked by this thing.
Yeah. She says a little worse for wear. She has 1 HP right now.
You're like you're bleeding in a few places, and she goes, "I need to be strong about it." And she reaches back and she pulls out a small clear potion. Here.
Oh, thank you.
Drink it.
I will. She like sniffs it first, just a little bit like, does this
Tasteless. It might as well be water.
Okay, she'll like knock it back.
Smell was nothing. The taste is not. It's
I
pretty
mean,
foul.
Faris drinks a lot of strong alcohol, so maybe
Yeah, that's
she's
fair.
fine with that.
You're probably just like, yeah. You actually recognize this taste. This is the taste of a healing potion.
Yeah. Tastes
regains
like-
4 hit points.
Nice. Tastes like £2 corner shop wine.
All right. The lift opens, and she looks at you and goes, "Oh, time for another shift, right?"
Yeah. I'm assuming we're not gonna have to fight any monsters on our way to your friend's house.
Oh, so you look out the lift, and you can see the roped together wooden bridges of the hangs, all looping and striding across different parts of the under city area. Oh. Right nearby, promise.
Okay. Well, I'm good. I can carry this thing if you need a rest.
All right. And she's no good. And you both move up and lift and walk, and you go 2 bridges over. Before there's someone interjects into the situation. 2 someones actually. First of all, a bronzed man. Not bronze as in like the skin tone, not as in like literally bronzed. This is a fantasy setting, I'm realizing now. Steps out of a, it's a hanging building fundamentally, onto this porch that is connected so that it doesn't rock separately. He is rippling with muscles, as seems to be the theme with people today, just in general. He has blonde hair that's a little bit lighter than his skin tone, tied back in a bun, and he's wearing like a doctor's coat, which seems just flagrantly at odds with the muscles and the demeanor. He has some of those similar style tattoos to Reyna, but some of them are blue as well as purple.
Okay.
And he reaches, as he comes outside, he's holding a doctor's bag and says, "Well, I saved my work cut out for me."
Is this a common occurrence for you two?
Just cool under pressure and not surprised. Set her down.
Yeah, Ferris will like very gently set the statue Anika down and begin explaining like, is this gas that came out of a vault we opened up?
Yes, Nerian petrifying gas. I'm familiar. Please, I have it from here. And he puts out a just massive hand and just says, "Call me Dart."
Ferris. She'll shake his hand.
And just right out on the porch, doesn't offer you to come inside, begins mixing some tinctures and a little bit of magics. You actually spy a few things that you've seen Falwyn use before, but also there's this gathering of darkness at one point where he puts a couple hands together, invokes a little bit of magic, and gathers a little ball of shadows and infuses it into this tincture he's crafting. As he's doing that, he gets quite focused. And after a little bit, you stop fully focusing on what's going on there, and you notice there's a familiar face approaching from a nearby bridge, coming up to the house. By familiar, I don't mean in the good way, as you see one Lord Darvanel, the Duke himself, walking up.
Cool.
You remember those robots you fought session 1? He has 2 of those coming the opposite bridge, approaching.
I love that for me. While she was still watching Dart work, Ferris would have been kind of like looking at the tattoos on both him and Reyna and trying to see if she recognized them at all.
Sure. My brain was like, make me a history check.
Arcana.
This is the kind of thing that would be cool whether you miss it or not. So why don't you roll the die for it?
Ooh, okay. D6 or D20?
D20.
14.
All right, so this is a group of people who have the ancestral home of the Nebon Desert. It is now part of the Orlath Empire, but you know how those things go. That being said, just as these are the ancestral individuals who live in the Nebon Desert, these tattoos aren't like a big deal. It's more like group membership, and these mark your family. These mark some achievements. They're not like, oh, you see someone with these and it's particularly abnormal, I guess is what I mean. They're a big deal. They're a big deal to the people who wear them,
Right.
you know.
But they're like a common thing to see, not
Yeah.
like Faris's, basically.
Yeah. Notably, the actual peoples that are from the desert don't have much of a centralization anymore, so it's not uncommon to see people who are trying to remember and are from there. Not necessarily like, this means I live in one spot.
Yeah. So I guess as Faris kind of pieces this together, she would be about to open her mouth to ask Reyna and Dart about them, and then she sees Lord Darrenel, and her eyes just narrow.
Mhm.
She'll step out like in front of the group so that she's like between the group and him, basically, if possible. Just fold her arms.
He pulls out his golden pocket watch and clicks it. Closes it. Pity. Ferris has nothing to do with you. Please step aside.
She rolls her eyes. What are you doing down here?
My business is with Mr. Vichnu. Please. And at that, Reyna looks
I know that.
at him and then back to Ferris. You know, if you don't remember what that means, that's fine. I know Megan does.
Megan, put it in chat because I have a terrible memory. She just can't with this guy. She's just sort of standing there, arms folded. She'll step aside a little bit, but she's like still kind of blocking if he were to try and get to Alika at all.
Says, come now, not a deal. I'll deal with her, and we have no quarrel. At which point, Reyna draws her sword. And she
Reyna?
looks at you like, you know this guy? What the fuck? But she doesn't say it. It's just that telepathy.
Right. She just looks at her and kind of puts a hand out as if to say, like, calm down. There's no... Look, we won't fight you out here in the open. It's ridiculous. Reyna, put your sword away. You, fuck off.
How quaint. At this point, Dart finishes his tincture and very quickly takes it and douses it along Alika's back and top of her head, and then chucks a little bit remaining to Reyna, who then douses it on her leg. It's not quick acting, sadly, though.
Right.
Look, I don't know what you want with me. I know you heard that name, but you can buzz off.
Sure, was that Reyna speaking?
That was
To
Reyna
Darren.
speaking, yeah.
To Darrenel?
NPC tennis.
Yeah, Faris will nod in agreement and just be like, Yeah, we're kind of dealing with our own stuff right now, so you have no part of this. Go on your way.
Let's not make things messy again. And as he starts reaching in his coat pocket for something, Reyna whips her sword out and cuts just one rope. And the entire bridge section begins to come out from underneath him. He just lifts one hand and just floats in the spot. Have it your way. Another time, Mr. Vitchian. And he starts to float away.
Mister. Varys will not take her eyes off this asshole, making sure he goes all the way away with her spear like at the ready in case he comes back. And when she's sure he's out of sight, she'll just turn to Reyna and be like, friend of yours too?
Not in the slightest.
Me
At
neither.
that point, there's like a little magical cracking visual, and the Alika and her leg both restore. There's a gasp. And Alika just collapses. And Dart, who's been standing here quietly, is like, she's going to need rest.
Yeah, well, I'll take care of that. It's okay. Thank you for your help. Appreciate it. And she'll crouch down next to Alika, kind of as gently as she can, place a hand on her shoulder.
She looks up at you. Like, she breathes a little ragged and says, is everyone else fine?
Yeah, we're all good. We destroyed those things. The vault is just left there open, though. I don't know if you want to deal with that, but you need to rest. You can send other people
We'll
to
deal
do
with
it.
that another day.
Mhm.
And so it's just this moment when she finds out that everyone's okay, this moment where she just kind of releases, she relaxes, and you just see her fall unconscious in front of you.
Oh. Faris looks to Reyna and Dart. Will just be like, I can take her back to Starfall Spire. She can rest there.
Reyna goes, where?
Just the place I'm staying.
Oh, we already picked you up. Yeah, and Dart kind of jumps in this. Well, yeah, actually, my space is a little full of other patients, so
I
if
know
you
the
could-
feeling.
It's a very busy time for doctors.
One of my roommates is also a doctor.
Oh, I'm sorry for your loss.
Sorry, that's me out of character, not Barrett's. Well, you know, just found out he's been keeping contagious patients in our dwellings, so that's fun.
Well,
What's one more patient?
if you ever would like some care that's a little less close to home, you can come around here.
I appreciate it, thank you.
So we are wrapping up this little side story
Mhm.
because this one went long, but that's okay. We'll improvise. Do you bring back Alika by yourself, or do you solicit help?
I think Faris is the sort of foolhardy person who would just be like, fireman lift, I'm taking you all the way back by myself.
Definitely doable.
She's
They're not a
strong.
statue anymore.
Yeah.
She's now just, a muscly woman.
Yeah.
A little lighter.
So yeah, Faris will bid her goodbyes to the other two, and make her way back to Starfall Spire with Alika,
All right.
and probably like let Alika rest in her bed.
I think as you're heading back to the lift, our camera just pans out and away, leaving those kind of details off screen. Gosh.
Hey now, you're making the assumption there. She leaves Alika in the bed and then goes and does something else. It's all
Gosh.
perfectly PG in it.
Let me pop back to everyone for a moment. I don't know if you have. So I usually use my phone to monitor, but it's been horribly glitchy today.
We're switched.
But sorry, yeah, it's
Excellent.
wunderbar.
Thank you.
How's it going?
Wunderbar. Hi. So that was our first one. Still learning and feeling out the realities. I feel sorry for the people who have to wait all day to have a moment, but that's fine.
I mean, it was
Not
it was
at all.
a
No, this is awesome.
It was very fun
Glad.
to play.
All right, now Ferris, go in a little box for the next forever.
Oh, I knew Ferris was a Cylon.
Bye.
And our next one is Ro.
Hey, that's me.
All right. So paint me a little picture of you in your room with
Oh.
Tiny. That's important.
Okay. Well, normally I would be sleeping on, like a little dog bed, that I guess people got for Tiny first, but I like it better. But Ferris tucked me and Tiny in together in bed. So, I wake up and Tiny and I are in like a puppy pile on the bed, and, the room has a lot of empty donut boxes all in it, and there's a lot of dirt tracked everywhere. And I've spent the last month or so talking to some plants to get them to grow up the walls, so it's really pretty and green.
Is that something you can do? Like just
Yes.
convince the plants to do things?
I can
That's
actually
epic.
spend AP, so like over a month, Ro has spent some time chatting to some plants to like encourage them to grow more.
Love it. So you're just kind of barely waking up, and suddenly Tiny lets out one of those little mini dog barks, like they're trying to hear something. And there's a little tap on the window, almost like someone just dunk.
I'm gonna just turn to Tiny and be like, hang on, I'll go check. And I'll tiptoe over with my slingshot ready in case it's that meanie
All right.
face.
All right, so as you're tiptoeing over to the window, you see another small little pebble just pink the window.
Oh, I go and sort of look more closely because that doesn't seem like something he would do.
All right, as you peer out, you see that little boy, Everett, the mousy hair and the tooth gap and the bright blue eyes, down at the bottom of the tower, waving.
Okay, I will wave back at him, and I'll turn to Tiny and I'll be like, I think we have a friend over. You want to go play? All right, I'll take Tiny downstairs.
All right, you just head down.
Yeah, I'll bring some
All
extra donuts from Mr. Batinga earlier to give him.
All right, so as you head on out, Mr. Patinga kind of calls over like, why are you going out by yourself?
Oh, I have a friend now.
Oh, I'm sure that's fine then.
And I just totter right out the door.
Yep. And this little boy, he seems about your age, maybe a little younger, because Nat always accidentally plays kids a little young for their age. And he runs over, and he rushes over and does that like stop suddenly thing. Where, he goes, I need your help.
Oh, okay.
I'm locked out of my house, and I think like you can like turn to animals and stuff. I bet you can help me out.
Oh, yeah, if you need to get it, I can help you get back in.
Come.
Where do you live? Is it far?
And he just, not too far. And he holds out his
Okay.
hand.
All right. Come on, Tiny. I'll grab his hand and let him lead us over.
And he just runs. the way kids do,
Yeah,
almost
so like
falling over.
our limbs are just cartoon flailing as we go.
Yeah. Perfectly.
And Ro is
and
barefoot, so
Yeah, he is too, actually, and he's kind of grimy.
hey,
But so is
Ro.
Ro. Yeah. And he leads you in actually kind of near-ish Arvis's house.
Okay.
Kind of the fancier districts. Not super near, but close. And he opens up by this small little cute house. Kind of nestled in between two bigger ones. And he goes, "This is it."
This is where you live?
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess was none of your pack home?
Oh yeah, no, I was home by myself, and I just went out and hung out outside, and I didn't realize I locked the door.
Oh no. Well,
So
I can help, I'm sure.
can you help me try to get inside? Also, hi Raiders, thanks for coming by.
Oh, hi, Raiders.
We have two adorable children trying to break into our house.
Yeah, totally legit.
Yeah, I'm sure this boy is totally telling the truth that he lives here.
Totally. Ro believes everyone. Okay. I can help get in. Will you be okay if you guard Tiny for just a few minutes for me? I mean, she'll help guard you too, but you also need to help watch her, okay?
I can keep Tiny company.
Okay. I'll just look at Tiny and be like, okay, you keep each other safe, all right? And then I'll just poof down into a little tiny, like, mouse, like a brown-red field mouse, and I'll start skittering under the door.
Nice. Let's see. Yeah, that works. Because, even if that didn't work, you could turn into a bird and fly in the chimney. That's just the flavor of the week.
Mouse is the smallest thing I can turn into right now.
Oh, didn't realize. So yeah, the mouse, you can just squeeze your little rat belly under the door frame. And it opens up into a nice little hallway. There's a statue, like a bust, on a pedestal, and
Let's
a few
sit
closed
up.
doors.
Do I recognize who the statue is?
Does Ro read?
No.
Then you don't know. It's a man. He's balding.
Very nice workmanship, I guess. Nobody is home, I guess? That I hear?
Of course, the boy said no one's home. You don't hear anyone.
And I'll just pop on back into row form and open the door for him so he can get inside his house. That's totally his.
Right. Yep, you have to unlock it from the inside, but that's easy. And you open it up, and he is come right up to the door with Tiny in tow.
Just open it, waving, hello!
Hey, thanks. Great. Want to hang out?
Yeah, I can hang out. Do you want some company until the rest of your pack comes home?
Yeah, that'd be great. And he starts striding inside, leaving footprints of dirt in the immaculately swept hallway.
I mean, there were probably some once Ro turned into a human again, so to be fair.
And he kind of veers off right opens a door, and into a room that you could actually just barely see through a window, but when you're outside, which has a like a chaise lounge kind of thing, and there's a bowl of fruit next to it, and he just plops on down, and grabs a banana and takes the banana and just bites in the whole thing, peel still on.
Ooh, I actually don't think Ro probably would have had a banana necessarily. I don't think they would have had much fruit except like berries and stuff in the forest. So I think their eyes kind of widen, like, what's that? Is that good? Is it tasty?
Well, it's kind of tart on the skin, but the inside's really sweet.
I'll take a bite with the peel and all, and it's really good. That's real good.
I bet, they used to tell me that things that taste bad are good for you because they have nutrients.
Huh. Well, then I must be really healthy because I ate a lot of things that didn't taste great. Except now I ate a lot of donuts and those are really good.
I'm sure donuts are good for you. I mean, like,
I mean, they taste good. How could they not
they
be?
taste so good. Yeah.
Right.
And he gets up, having left a muddy spot on the lounge, and kind of winds his way into the connected kitchen, and begins just opening pantry doors, and just like he takes like a spice bottle and just leaves it on the ground. He's just ransacking the place, basically.
Are you looking for something?
Well, I'm kind of hungry, and that I don't think my stomach agreed with that banana.
Oh, I don't really know how to make many food things, but I don't know. I can help. Are you a good cook?
I think I'm okay. Want to help me make something?
Yeah, okay.
All right. And he gets a pot and puts it on the stove, and quite adeptly lights the stove without burning himself.
Okay.
And then he gets some water out of a pump and puts some water in it. We can make soup.
Oh, okay. I've had soup before.
Then you just add stuff.
Yeah, we just need to put things in it. Okay. Rogue like goes back out to the living room to get the fruit bowl. And
Yeah.
comes back with it and just dumps the fruit in.
Yeah. He has picked up that spice bottle, which you think has like maybe cumin in it, and he takes the lid off and just dumps the entire thing in.
Okay. That'll be good, I bet.
Yeah.
How long does soup take?
I don't know.
I'm just like waiting.
There's a pot that is hot but not boiling, with a bunch of fruit added wholesale and cumin. I'm sure this will be great.
Oh my god. And there's probably like dirty handprints over all of the counters where we've been going through looking for things.
Yeah. Yes. I'm bored. He kind of plops down to the ground.
Okay. What do you want to do while we wait for soup?
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
So you live in that tower with all those other people. How'd that happen?
Oh, they're all really, really nice. I used to be from a forest, where I lived with my pack there. But I came here to find my people pack, and now I'm staying with this pack, and they're all really, really nice.
Like, how'd you meet them?
Oh, well, I came here first, and, this person in the shiny armor grabbed my shoulder, and it scared me, so I bit him, and he didn't like that, so they put me in this room while they tried to find, I guess, my pack, but they couldn't find my pack, because my pack is all the way back in the forest. So I stayed in this room with these people while they were also in trouble. I don't know if they bit him too, but that's what I did.
So
you shouldn't
did
just
bad
grab
things,
people.
and then they just gave you a place to live with nice people?
I mean, for a while, yeah. I was only there for like the night, and then we came out, and they were all, these other people in different armor and hats and stuff were like, oh, the fighting is done, so you can come to this tower now, and then we all moved into that place. They're really nice. You don't get it?
And at that point, you hear the front door open.
Oh, I think your pack is back.
And the kid is like, Ro, I have a confession.
Yes.
I don't live here.
No?
But like the people who do live here, they're really, really nice. And I miss my family.
Oh.
But so like, when they're being in here. I wanted to, like, kind of feel like I was part of the family. And at that point, a man walks around the corner into the kitchen and just yells out, "What the fuck?"
I'm just like, hello.
You get what are you doing? And he just starts shouting, like, get out, you don't leave. And the kid starts scrabbling to stand up, and he knocks over the pot of the now boiling soup. Oh, and soup, big air quotes. Big air quotes.
Hot fruit water.
Yeah. With cumin.
With cumin.
Now with cumin.
With 50% more cumin.
And the pot splashes over and hits the ground, and little splashes of it get everyone, and they burn because they're hot. And the guy's freaked out, and he starts, and the man gets it on his leg, and he starts like jumping back in pain. He's like, "Oh, come on, you little shit!" And he grabs a rolling pin, and it's just like slaps on his hand and says, "Leave, get out."
It's like, okay, I'm sorry. I thought that, we could be here, but we're sorry that we spilled your soup.
I think at that point, Tiny comes in around the way he came and bites him in the leg.
That scans. I'm just like, oh, no, Tiny, it's okay.
And this little boy, Everett, looks at you and says, "Run?"
I suppose I'll talk to my friends later, and
I suppose.
I don't know, Ron knows that they're not very good at, like, talking to big people well. That's how I wound up in that, like, cold room with everybody the first time.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna be like, yeah, my friends will help us. And I'm gonna go ahead and spend 2 AP for wild aspect.
What are you doing?
I'm going to use the wolf aspect, and Ro just sort of throws back their head and and we are imbued with the aspect of a wolf, and now no creature can outrun us. For the next hour. So me, Tiny, and Everett just like Scooby-Doo out of there.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, sorry!
You run past, there's a woman also, and they're wearing like these matching blue and white striped shirts. They're kind of cute.
Aww.
But she just looks bewildered as she's just freaking out, like where she's looking at all the footprints in the hallway in the other room. As you all just like scamper through and out the front door. And after you get like a block or two away, everything calms down for a moment and you're able to catch your breath. That was fun.
That was definitely exciting. I don't think the others will be too happy when I tell them, but it'll be okay.
Well, you don't have to tell them. You just I learned this, but the hard way. Sometimes with the bigger people, the correct answer is just to not tell them things that'll make them angry.
I don't know, but I like to, don't want them to find out later and then have that guy be mad at everybody. Because, I guess we kind of took some of that food that wasn't really ours, and I didn't know that. And we have a lot of food at my house. Do you want to come to my house?
We never got to eat our soup.
No, we can make better soup.
Can we make soup at your house?
Yeah! Where's your family? You said you missed them. Is your pack far away too?
Well, really far away. So I work, I wanted to go on an adventure, so I go and stowed away on this boat, and that was a really bad choice.
Why?
The people on the boat were not nice.
Oh.
So now I'm here, and this is better than the boat, but I miss home.
Well, maybe, I know this whole city goes a lot of places, so maybe we can get it there next time for you, and then you can go see them.
Just kind of scratches the back of his head. There was a place called Darrington, but I think it was really small. There was only like 4 houses.
Well, I don't know that place. I only know my forest and here. But my new people pack is really smart and they know a lot of places, so maybe they can help and you can come and stay with us and have soup with us and other things, but also soup.
That sounds great. Let's go.
Yeah, we can go, because it's important to stay with a pack.
Yeah. And he's kind of playing with Tiny as he's going and running ahead and scritching and then falling back and having a good goof with the pup. He seems to be really enjoying running fast.
I mean, it lasts for an hour, so we could totally just run for a while if he wants. But we'll
You get back to the tower, and he kind of stops short of the bakery. Just, is there another way in?
I don't think so. Why?
Well, the baker, he gave me some good. He gave me a scone or a donut a couple times, but then he couldn't anymore, and I was still hungry. So and I got caught. I took
Did
him.
he yell at you?
No, but he was really disappointed.
Oh. Well, I think it'll be okay. We can go in and you can say that you're sorry, and I bet that will make him feel a lot better.
Promise?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Here, I'll take his hand and lead him in so he doesn't have to be scared. I'll just be like, hello, Mr. Batinga, as the bells tingle.
Yeah, and I think that's where we drift off of this particular story.
No.
So that was your dose of wholesome today. You only get one.
No.
Hmm.
Bro has a friend.
It's just, yeah.
Just gonna adopt
Escapades.
so many new people today.
I don't have
Adopt
this
a
kind
felon.
of room.
It's okay, Zeke doesn't need a room.
Yeah, I mean, when has Zeke ever needed a room?
You tell Zeke that he doesn't need a room.
I will.
Oh, you will.
Zake's only ever here when we're adventuring. Like, come on. Read
Seriously.
the writing on the wall.
If the doctor can give up his room, so can Zeke.
The writing says Zeke doesn't need a room.
The writing says biohazard, do not enter.
Oh,
Nunu in the chat, just like,
Nunu heard us. Hi,
It's
Nunu.
canon now, sorry.
Everything's fine.
Oh, this is awkward.
You want to defend yourself, Nunu? Show up. Here.
Snap.
Yeah, right now you're just Nunu, okay? You're not Zeke.
Oh, what's that? You can't come into the Zoom chat unless we let you. Oh no!
Don't challenge him.
You're so mean. So mean.
We do
All right,
love each
so-
other here. Just
We
so
do.
that's clear.
We have a foundation of love and respect that really undercuts the sting when we're rude to each other.
Yes. But we do it from our hearts.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's very true.
All right. Our next contestant is the doctor.
Just as a question, because it is almost normal break time, did we want to take a break before we did that?
That sounds great. Let's do that.
So,
Look at Robert
Everyone-
remembering structural
Yeah.
foundations and formatting.
Get
it
up,
happens
stretch,
every once in a while.
get
Hydrate.
some water, drink some water, and we'll meet you back here in like 5-10 minutes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
5. We'll go with 5. Let's go.
Go with 5.
We'll meet you back here in 5 minutes.
We listen to Megan here.
Oh, at least 10.
Yes.
at least 10.
True.
Clearly,
She's in
I'm the one in
charge.
charge. Horrible decision, really.
I did say I'm not in charge here.
Plan maker. And we're back. Supposedly. We're supposedly back. You guys believe
Allegedly.
that?
I've been informed.
I'll believe it when I see it. Oh, I see it. We are back.
Oh, hey.
So, Nathaniel, now that we're back from break, what just happened?
Well, we are actually. I lied earlier. We're not going to go with the doctor. We're going to
Bye-bye.
forget he exists. And it's just. Wow. Robert, you can't leave with. We need you to do tech, but not actually participate in the game. Sorry. Okay, thanks. Bye. I'm just
Don't
really
talk to
mean
my-
today. I'm sorry, fam.
Don't talk to my friend like that. He keeps me alive.
All right.
That is
All right.
true.
So, Robert, I have a feeling you know what this doctor scene is.
I mean,
Story.
you know. I know who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are
So
we
you
going?
are. Yeah. Paint me a word picture of the doctor walking to Arbus's, the Von Cast estate.
Well, one of the major things is, of course, the doctor on his way. He knows who Arvis is. He knows that at the very least, if the letter is as he expects, that there's going to be some entertainment involved, and he's going to quickly on the way stop off at a shop that has a certain liqueur and grab a bottle.
I guess the letter that was sent to you asking you to visit for a rematch on your ongoing set of chess games.
Yes.
Signed, I have the honor to be your obedient servant, A. Von Rinth.
And
I'm sorry you can't see it, because Sam's response to that was worth the entire joke.
but yes, the doctor is going to get a bottle of red liqueur, and then head off towards the estate. Very, saunteringly, and then when he finally arrives,
Saunteringly.
yes, when he finally arrives, he's just gonna kind of stand at the gate, looking around a bit. And then just kind of walk in.
As you approach the door, you notice that it is open, ajar, slightly.
Just gonna knock on it a little and go, is anyone there?
And quite quickly, as you say that, you hear someone jump slightly, a little, and then you see an individual come out with a doctor's coat and a doctor's bag, and very large hand. He shows up, says, "Oh, hello. I'm Dart." He holds out a hand.
Nice to meet you. Just shake his hand and be like, and who are you?
Oh, he shakes your hand. Big, strong hand, but he's gentle with it. And goes, just visiting a friend here. I'm just on my way out. Sorry for leaving the door open.
No worries. Arvis is home?
Oh, yes, he should just be up in the game room, waiting for you.
As expected. Well, very nice to meet you. You said Dart.
Yeah, Dr. Dart Fillion.
I am Dr. Falvin Zanor. It appears Arvis
You can
likes
call me
doctors. You can call me Dr. D.
Well, Arvis likes useful people. And he pats you on the shoulder a couple times as he starts shuffling by.
That is true. Okay, goodbye. Just kind of like walk in and then like
Yeah.
close the door behind and just sit there for a moment. We'll have to ask him about that. And then just walk up towards the game room.
You find the game room door also slightly ajar, and stalking around inside it is one Arvis von Hrunth in his butlery attire. He is striding around a table upon which is set an immaculate chess set. The white pieces are set up facing a chair, which has its back to the door. As you come in, he turns and says, Doctor, friend, please. It's your turn to make the first move.
Walk over, take a seat, pull out the bottle of red liqueur that I bought, place it down next to the chess set, and just look at him and go, I thought maybe today we could make it interesting.
And he raises his hand. Well, I would love to make it interesting. I'm on a bit of a cleanse. I appreciate the gesture, though.
Or then I'll just make it
Immensely.
interesting for myself. And pour some red liqueur for myself. This is Gatorade.
Don't ruin the illusion, Robert. Gosh, the immersion, it's destroyed. It's not like I'm looking at Nat's living room right now.
But I will look at him and go, before I make the first move, how many more doctor friends do you have?
Oh, you must have run into Dr. Fillion on your way out. Friend is a bit of a stretch for that one. He doesn't have quite the bond that you and I do. Please. I know what your opening is going to be. It's always the same, but it's ceremonial.
And I will move my first pawn.
He very quickly runs, doesn't even sit down. He just kind of paces around that backside of the board and moves a pawn forward. And the pace of the game, just shoves off like a boat leaving port. Doctor.
Yes. My friend.
I have some... Of course. As I mentioned earlier, on your last visit, I have some crow's breath ready for when you leave today. But, saving lives is its own reward, but I was wondering if you might perchance grace me with some questions to be answered.
Of course. What do you need to know?
You're from the land of Survein, correct? With the knights?
Yes. I lived there until the age of 16.
He smiles. I'm assuming the fact that you don't seem... Let's just say your attire doesn't seem entirely crafted in their style. That has something to do with you living here now. On Valarith.
It is part of it. There's a lot of judgment that happens. You don't conform to that which you are expected to. Especially when you do not agree with every stipulation of life that those kinds have. Oh yes.
Yes.
That is one of the
People with a very particular interpretation of justice.
That is more valid than you know.
Oh, I wouldn't go so far as that. I would say it's just as valid as I No. And he takes your knight with the bishop.
A grin across the doctor's face that he can't see. But I feel like he would know. Look down at the board for a moment, then look back at him. And your next question, as I move my queen.
I'm afraid there's no entirely delicate way to put this, but I believe a calamity, a catastrophe, is coming to Valarith.
What kind of catastrophe?
One that I cannot prevent, nor can you. However, that does not mean it is unpreventable.
Interesting.
Your friend, the Solari, Faris. You don't believe she trusts me, do you?
I don't believe many of them trust you.
Pity. Trust, such a valuable commodity, can be given so freely. But some of us don't curry that favor so easily.
In my experience, trust is earned. And no offense, though I love it, you do have a demeanor that can make people less trusting of you.
Raises his hand, because he usually keeps his left hand behind his back, like in the butcherly style. And well, as is the style and expectation of my post. But frankly, those who can convince people to do what they want, from their charms or their looks, are playing on easy mode. And he moves his queen. Tact, logic, intelligence. These are the qualities of a true tactician.
That is very true. Though, of course, having your own pawns, your own pieces, can be necessary at times, and I think, of course, you know that. Gaining them, regaining them, is sometimes the most difficult thing. But I'm gonna move my rook across the board and then look at him. Sometimes we have to make daring choices, really garner that favor.
He flaps a hand and says, "So I see now we've developed into the late game. I believe that is defined by the first rook moving across the board." Predictable, but not a bad move.
Sometimes predictability is not a bad thing.
Honestly, predictability is something I value in people. Plenty of co-conspirators benefit greatly from predictability. Falwyn, I need your friend Ferris to trust me. At least for a day, for a moment. Do you think you might be... Do you think that for the sake of Valarith, you could allow that to happen?
Well, it is not my choice, of course. But I think if you can give information that Varys would find compelling, a trust could be earned. We at the very least already have some problems. The Duke is, well, he's looking for who sent us.
Yes, I heard. And Lena, always unpredictable in her actions, chose to cast a stone at a different bird.
Yeah, and it will work for a time, but you know it will work long.
I think it'll be more short-lived than it would be convenient.
So, what information do you have about the dangers Valarith is about to go through that would make Varys want to help?
As I said, I cannot stop it. You cannot stop it. Faris cannot stop it. But if Faris can trust me, we can stop it together. I'm afraid I am no more able to tell you more of the details of this impending catastrophe than I would be able to kill you where you stand right now.
Well, I will see what I can do. You have been an indispensable friend, and in a sense, ally to the city.
I am just trying to save lives here. And the place as unpredictable as we live, that can be a very difficult feat.
Saving lives is probably the most difficult feat. Lives are fleeting, easy to snuff out, harder to save.
He takes a rook with your rook in a trade, so you immediately can take his back.
Interesting move.
The trade of lives is a little easier on a game board, isn't it?
Yes, sadly so. Sometimes even the ones at the head need to put themselves at danger. Moving the king one space out of his original position.
Pauses, looking at the board. Perhaps another way to make this more interesting. How about a wager? Are you a betting man?
Not often, but give me what you want to wager.
Damn it, Megan. No. Fucking green room chat. Damn it, Megan. How about this? If I win this game, look, I'm slightly behind. Then you have to tell me everything you know about your home, the Knights of Soaring, everything. And not ask me why. If you win, you can ask me anything except this danger to come.
All right. I will say, however, if I'm ahead, you know the game. That means nothing.
Indeed, as he moves a bishop across the board and takes your queen.
Looking at the board.
So before we resolve the board, Robert, because we are playing a tabletop role-playing game,
Oh, Are we?
Why don't we roll some dice to influence the outcome of this game?
Sure.
So, you roll the die, and Arvis roll the die, and we'll see who does better.
Well, Arvis probably does. That's a 6.
What did you get?
6.
Well, you have actually tied. And give me another roll.
11.
All right. So tell me how you bring this game closer to ending in your favor.
Oh, my queen was just taken. However, I have a knight.
Nerd mode initiated.
I have a knight, and there's a lot of uses once your queen is gone for that knight. I'm going to use my knight along with one of my bishops to pressure his side of the board, to make him feel like he has to defend his king instead of attacking mine.
Give me one more roll.
19.
Unexpected. Good, unless one's ready for it. As he moves a rook, takes a pawn, and opens up check on your king. Check. Roll one more time.
9.
Yeah, but that's gonna get him. Because he rolled a 3. Take it home, Daddy-o.
Using the remaining bishop that I had not moved, I'm going to take that pawn, sacrificing it, I am assuming, and then getting my knight into position for a check. At which point he will, in my assumptions, being a master chess player, realize that he is in a multitude of checks that will happen from turn to turn up until the point that it is a likely checkmate.
Yeah, he's looking 4 or 5 moves down the line, going. Blast.
It appears that we are.
He reaches out and picks up his king, the black king. Tied. Game to game. So, to the victor go the spoils.
Well, you said I could not ask about the catastrophe to come.
Indeed.
Why did you want to know about my home?
Oh. Fallen. That is so basic. Because that is where the catastrophe originates.
I figured. I just wanted to confirm.
As I said before, your people had a very particular definition of justice. A very particular definition of what is wrong and what is right. And unfortunately, they're interested in imposing that position on the unfortunate lands that happen to live nearby.
You know, when I was a kid, There was a family member who did not treat me like the rest. Later, he got a position of power, and that vastly changed. I always worried things would change after that. I may have won, but I don't mind telling you what you may want to know. Especially if it would help save lives.
He grins widely like a reptile. Excellent. And I think we'll go over. Well, I think you have a bit of a conversation with Arvis, but we're going to kind of do that in zoomed out mode. Eventually, he bids you goodbye and thanks you for the game and the entertainment. After you leave the game room, the camera lingers inside. He looks at that Black King, which he is still holding. Pity. And his image flickers away, and the Black King falls to the ground, falling over. You should bring us back to everyone so you can see Megan's reaction.
I hate that so much.
Excuse you, Nat?
I hate that so much.
Why do you think he turned down the wine?
Do not trust this man.
I hate it so much. I'll get it. I will summon.
Listen, I know it's just Gatorade,
Set
but I'm
up the
drinking
summoning.
more.
Set up the summoning circle for one Zake.
One sec. That's so great. Because for what other reason am I going to have an NPC turn down wine? Characterization? Pfft. Pretending to drink wine's great.
Well, it was more than just wine.
None of this would have happened if Nat just didn't make the decision to have him turn down wine.
Look, it's Zane.
Look who it is! Look
Oh,
who it is!
look who it is!
Ignore the orphan boy sleeping in your bed. It's
Oh my
fine.
No, I think there's a postal worker in his
Yeah,
bed.
there's a postal
Yeah,
worker
no,
in
the
his
postal
bed.
worker is in his bed.
But,
Cannot
you know,
leave you alone for 1
he
second.
also used to be a babysitter, so he's good with kids.
Oh, great.
Don't worry. Perhaps I don't need to worry about my room just yet, but I'm not sure. Let's see what happens.
So, we are now popping in on Lena, who's
Hi.
up in the so at the top of Starfall Tower is this room that once held a siege weapon to defend the city, but has since been removed and replaced with a telescope. And it's the middle of the night. Usual Lena can't sleep. Trash.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Beautiful span of stars in the sky, and at this point, Valarith is flying over a desert. It's quite chilly, but beautiful to look out over. You paint me a word picture of what Lena's, or just word picture. Say words.
Say, oh god, paint a word picture in this a game of fantasy.
What? Is it coming?
Yeah. Let me see. I think so. Lena is sitting up by the telescope, as she is wont to do, and I think she's in, I'm gonna call them fantasy pajamas. Like, I just, like, my mind so clearly goes to, like, the Dragon Age Inquisition, like, running around Skyhold fantasy pajamas. And she's got, like, a big cloak, or, like, her cloak, is, like, around her, because it's a little chilly out. And, I think she's like sitting cross-legged like on this platform next to the telescope, and she's got like a bunch of like little bottles all strewn out in front of her. And she's just kind of like futzing with things and just like pouring things into another and just like smelling them, like, no, it's not right, like dumping them out. As she's like just kind of trying to like make something with all these little bottles, and she's just kind of like wrapped up tight in her cloak, just like looking up at the stars and fiddling around.
As you're fiddling with these bottles and bits, a voice cuts through the stillness. It says, "So I have reason to believe you want me dead." As you wheel, you see the character I previously described as Reyna on the edge of the wide opening for the siege weapon. Hand on the blade off to the side, out ever so slightly. Poison, is it? Really?
Oh, this is just just an insurance policy. I'm quite confident I can kill you without it.
So, I was hoping, before I die in my sleep or somewhere, that I might know why. Because while I have good reason to think that you want me out of the picture, I cannot put my finger on who you are.
Who? You don't know.
No.
Interesting. I could have sworn you would, but, well, and I'm gonna stand up and, like, push all the bottles to the side. Like,
As you stand up and move slightly towards her, she kind of pulls the sword out just a bit and says, "Let's keep this civil."
Oh, of course. I was just, wanted to look you in the eye and just see what was going on in there, though it doesn't look like much. I am the magpie. And you stole my face and murdered the woman I loved.
She narrows her eyes. Oh, you were that lady in waiting, weren't you?
Yes. And who are you?
It's just someone trying to make a new life. No one has to die here.
I disagree.
She, for the first time, lets her hand off of the sword hilt. The ropes wrapped around her forearms, still present. Puts her hand forward to gesture a little bit, still hanging on the side. You have to know it wasn't personal. That was just business at the time.
What? She didn't do anything to deserve that. What business could you possibly be talking about?
You're a lady. Corinne Lyons, I believe.
Yes.
Things were a little more politically motivated. She was, I didn't have all the details, but she was supposedly a danger to the new emperor.
That's it.
Well, there's a little more, but I'm trying to gauge how much you know already.
All I know
Look,
is
I'm not
that
here to make enemies in this town. I'm trying to get away from that life.
well, you might not be trying to, but you've made one. And I came here looking for you. And if you leave this town and go somewhere else, I will follow you wherever you go until you are dead.
Why?
Because it is personal.
It was just a job, right?
To you.
To you.
No.
Why do you care so much? For what reason do you have to care so much about some random lord who got killed because they stepped on the wrong snake?
I don't need to explain myself to you. But she did more for me than anyone in my life ever has, and not only did you take her away, you did it disguised as me.
That wasn't my idea.
Oh, whose idea was it then?
I was hired at the time. Hey, fuck, you might as well know. I was hired at the time by the Orlath Empire's new Shadow Master, a position that you'll find it difficult to prove exists. The Lady Lyons was a threat because she was an Ardent, and she opposed the Emperor.
She wasn't a threat. She was a good woman. She was
You
just
can be both.
trying. Well, well, it might not have been personal for you, but it was for me, and I hope you won't take it personally when I do what I have to do.
This fucking Ardent is giving me trouble from out the grave.
Maybe you should vet the people you take jobs from better.
Can't exactly turn down the Emperor. That gets you killed too. Look at the position I was put into.
Well, it seems like you were fucked either way then.
I'm sure I can't make an argument of fairness with you.
That ship is long sailed. And what is the situation like? Like, how is she? Like, if I were to
She's like hanging on the side, you know, kind of like dramatically.
So, hypothetically, she's hanging on a rope.
You don't. Yes, there's a rope.
So if I were to, like, I don't know, hypothetically run at her and cut the rope and push her off the tower, would that be something that is plausible to do?
You can definitely try.
I definitely would love to try to do that. Because,
all right, so as you dive towards...
She doesn't... I mean, I don't look armed, but I'm armed.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna I'm gonna run at her and extend the knife and try to cut the rope.
So as you're doing that, we're going to shift the camera up into the sky, into the stars. And Nunu, why don't you take it away?
As I click the unmute button and start to speak, and not before
Proud.
that, definitely not. As the camera pans away and approaches the sky, the stars get brighter and closer until we almost get to one single point of light. Almost as if it opens up and bathes everything with this bright white light. And as soon as it appears, it vanishes and Valarith is no longer behind. Zaig stands in the middle of a forest? Question mark. Everything looks alien of some sorts. And he's currently walking a path alone, without light, looking up, being silent.
Silence is a very common occurrence here. The stalker. That's been giving you trouble for a while. Vengeance little creature. You don't track it by sound, nor by sight unless you're lucky. It's by the smell of blood. And that metallic tinge strikes your nose again. You know this stalker is nearby.
They stop immediately. Slowly bring their hand to the hilt of the swords and start breathing in and breathing out at the same pace that he takes tiny steps in the direction of the scent. Step, 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 until he reaches the point where the scent comes from.
In the flickering, shadowed twilight, through these stalks that, to a cursory glance might be a tree, but you're certain you've learned are something much less welcoming. You see a flicker of a shadow moving across a shadow to another shadow. Nunu, tell me, is Zake hunting the stalker, or is the stalker hunting Zake?
At this point, I think it has been a dance for a few hours already of switching the roles. But at this point, I think Zake feels more hunted. He's trying to gain the upper hand to switch things around again and become the hunter.
All right. You're getting close. You can feel the tension in your breath in the air. And these little flecks of shadow, the reason you wear your mask here. They float in the air. Any little disturbance of the air you can see. And if you're trained and you know both you can see it for quite some time after passing. And you can see them going into a little hollow in those small copse of these stalks.
Zeke continues, slowly but steadily, till he reaches the edge of this hollow, at which point takes a deep breath and stops breathing completely, waiting for the creature to appear.
Suddenly, from the shadow of the ground, sound erupts. This creature, grand maw, half a dozen rows of teeth, the skin the color of an oil slick mixed with blood and the smell to match, erupts forward. This grand gnarled spine or horn spike of shadow strikes forward at you. And it's going to try to impale you.
As one does.
So it manages to stab you for 3 points of damage and stick you up to one of these alien stalks. Its mawed face reaching out wide. The mouth not designed for making noise or communication, but for devouring and rending. Circular rows of teeth in front of you and one beady, reddened eye. You feel the blood from the stalk behind you and from your own body pulsing down your chest and down your back. What do you do?
Oh. Azek is taken by surprise, even when trying to be the sneaky one. He knows these creatures. Not the first time he's been hunting them. They've been probably one of the most requested monstrosities, let's call it. Things that shouldn't be. And he knows they are only after one thing, and that is blood. At this point, he twists slightly on the wound that's been currently held to the stalk and releases a drip of blood and pulls it in his hand and just throws it in the other direction, waiting for a moment of weakness for the creature, from the creature, in order to get himself free from the impaling.
That eye flickers down, and a moment later, the spine starts to retract halfway, and it dives down in that direction.
Which is at that point that Zake kicks his legs up and steps on its face and the other foot on the back of this tree, and backflips towards the back of the creature while throwing the scimitar and trying to carve the creature from head to bottom.
You don't gotta roll for the acrobatics, that's just gravy. Roll just to hurt it.
Oh yeah, that's the description of my wild strike, is the acrobatics.
Oh, excellent.
Oh, I forgot my dice again. Oh no.
I can just roll for you. It's fine. I'm sure your math will be grand.
There we go. It's a... Ouch. That's a 6.
What does that do?
That, let me double check. But it's not good. It's not fun. Oh, okay. I deal double damage, but they counterattack me.
All right. So you deal 4 damage. That right to this thing?
That is correct. Yeah.
Your sword flashing and appearing because it was invisible before.
Yeah.
And it's going to attempt to. Its teeth start to jar forward, and it's going to attempt to swallow you.
Bite me.
It's going to do.
No!
It's actually less about damage, this one. The other one did 3. This one does 1 point of damage, but it envelops you. Your world covered in darkness and silence. Teeth, spines all around you. And we're gonna flip back to Lena.
Hi. It's me.
So you were diving to try to cut this rope. Nare is hanging by. That feels like a
bet.
roll.
It does feel like a roll. It feels like a roll that I really hope I don't miss. It's a 19. Oh, you're going down.
So that's a triumph. Tell me what you do. Like how does it go extra well?
Yeah, so I'm gonna like rush at her, and like I'm in my pajamas, so I think I'm just gonna like run at her, like looking like I don't have anything, and I'm gonna stop like just short of her face and like put my hand up like towards like where her hand is, like my and I'm just gonna put up
With
there
the one
and
with
be
the
like,
hidden blade.
yeah, the one with the hidden blade, and like put my hand up where her hand is like holding the rope and just be like, nothing personal, and I'm gonna bend my hand back and extend the blade and cut the rope and push her backwards.
She falls backwards.
Then-
Stupid love-struck girl. As she falls back, she doesn't even seem to attempt to catch herself, but she yanks at a hand, and another rope just reaches out for her to grab, as if under command, and she swings off, lands on the nearby tower, and pauses. Really?
I said nothing personal.
Well, when you've decided that you can unconsolably assault my life, I believe it is personal now. Both ways.
Oh, well, that feels fair.
I almost feel bad for you.
You should feel worse for yourself. Because I'm the one that will walk away from this.
Sleep tight.
Hmm.
As she swings off.
I'm going to kill you.
There's a moment of like the tension relieving. It's, you know, the person who you don't viciously want dead is now not in your presence.
It's like I go from like a 10 to like an 8. That is the amount of relaxation. It's just like
Yeah.
Like the blood stops boiling.
It's enough for a thing to crystallize. It's just a detail. She referred to the lady as an ardent. And didn't seem to be just some adjective. It seemed to have a meaning. And she said it had something to do with why she was killed.
Yeah, I have no idea what that means. I'm just a lady in waiting turned vigilante. I don't know shit.
Maybe you could talk to one of your well-read friends, like Arvis or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll store that away in the Mind Palace. As
I'm sure.
Pull the blade back in. And I'm like, I like retract the blade and just walk over and like kick a bunch of stuff. And probably just like get real upset.
So I think on shattering glass is where we cut back to Zeke.
Just like
inside the belly of the shadow beast. And it ate you as a counterattack, so it gets to act next. As you feel the different rows of teeth start rotating in opposite directions. Let's kind of roll. All right, so that winding around you is going to deal 4 points of damage.
Ouch!
Cutting into you. You got eaten first.
please
Sure.
don't die. Thanks.
As I go to 1 health.
Yeah.
Please don't die.
Yeah, as the mixture of the scent of blood inside the stomach of this creature and the grinding of teeth against Zake's flesh, he is...
The disconcerting factor about this is that even though you can feel your body getting rended and cut all over, inside this belly, it is entirely black and is entirely silent. It's just the smell and the pain.
I like to think there's like just no sound except for the thumping of Zake's own blood inside his head. Dun, 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 dun. And as he's in his tight space, with not enough room to swing his scimitar around, he tries to, as he writhes in pain, he tries to reach back to a holster he has on the back of his armor and flash a bladed fan from his back and try and swing open, try to cut the belly of the beast.
All right, see if you can cut your way out.
Let's go. It's just a regular attack. 17, so that's 2 points of damage.
So it takes 2 points of damage, and you are able to slice out of this thing. It's oil-like blood coating along one side of your face.
Hold the fan, put it again, and wait with scimitar at a ready for the charge of the beast once more.
You wheel, expecting the charge, and find only silence. It is prepared to ambush again.
Of course it is. Sheathe the blade, and the hunt begins anew.
It would. But there is a ping of light. Very obvious in this landscape. You know what's about to happen. and you briefly consider your current state of being.
Yep.
Anything you'd like to do, you have a little bit of time. Lena, from your perspective, you see a star, a light. This little light on your necklace, your amulet.
Yeah. So I have an idea that this is like the beginning. So I know it's gonna probably happen in a few minutes or so.
So in my canon, time is longer in the Shadow Realm, so you
Gotcha.
have more time than on the other side.
Gotcha. In that case.
Yes, I said Shadow Realm. Fight me.
Shadow Realm.
You've activated my trap card.
So he assumes the position of silence, complete silence again, and holds his breath as he starts moving backwards, trying to pay attention to the shadows to make sure that the creature does not follow him at this right moment, until he tries to find some sort of liquid source. Water? Question mark again. Not sure. Something to clean off the residue from this creature and look somewhat presentable.
The blood from the stalk is a mostly clear liquid that, well, has a bit of a smell and certainly isn't drinkable. Has sufficed for this purpose in the past.
Yeah.
You adjust your little half cape over the impalement.
Mm-hmm.
Lena, you only have, by comparison, but a moment. Anything you'd like to do as you look down the broken bottles of glass?
Yeah, I think, Lena just, looks at all the broken glasses like, well, that was a waste. And just sits down and, sits down, against where the telescope is and just kind of, pulls her knees, into her chest and, wraps her arms around them and just is, that weird, that weird cry, when you're just really frustrated, but you're just kind of making crying sounds, but the tears aren't coming out. It's like that. She just is so overwhelmed with frustration and sadness that she's just trying to get it out, but nothing is coming out. So she's just wrapped in her cloak, hugging her knees on the roof of this tower, surrounded by broken glass. Things are fine.
Zeke, describe yourself appearing.
So once more, as we look at the night sky and the stars, for a brief moment seem to almost close the gap between the rim of the sky and the city itself. They become brighter for a second, and the next moment, behind Lena, again, the spectral form of Zeke starts to appear, almost as if carried by the wind, and slowly, bit by bit, solidifies. And Zeke stills themselves, takes a deep breath. Hey there.
I had her in front of me, and I couldn't do it. She got away.
Zeke says nothing for a moment and walks towards Lena, slightly at a cost. Moves so that the side where he wasn't impaled through is closer to Lena, and just wraps his arm around her, brings her closer. It's okay. It doesn't matter. You'll have more opportunities.
Oh, now she knows. She knows where I live. She knows where we all live. She knows that I want her dead, and now she's going to try to get back at me, and I could have she was in front of me. She was right in front of me. How did I mess it up? She was right there. And just kind of curls over into Zake's chest, like kind of like she was sitting like back and just kind of like curls over.
How did that happen? Where did she come from?
I don't know. I was getting ready. I was going to go down to the hangs. I was getting everything ready, and she was just here. And she was just here, and she tried to explain why she did what she did, and reasoned with me and explained that it was nothing personal, as if it wasn't anything other than something personal. And I got cocky. I could have just stabbed her. You can't swing away to another tower if I just stab you until you're dead. I had to try to be fancy and didn't think it through. And
what if it was for the best? I mean, what if you could also swing away? Just let it go.
I can't let it. It's why I'm here. Everything Corinne did for me, I can't just walk away without and just let the person who killed her get away. I owe it to her.
What about what you owe to yourself? Think about the past years. You've done nothing for yourself.
It's because I owe too much. I got you stuck where you're stuck. I need to try to help you. Corinne is dead, and I haven't done anything to help her. I can't do anything for myself until I've fixed what I've done.
I don't think so. She's dead. There's nothing you can do to help her. I'm half dead. There's very little you can do to help me. But there's a lot you could do to help yourself. That's really what I really, really want. Always has been. You never take care of yourself.
No, you don't want to fix yourself? You don't want me to try to get you back? How can you say that?
It's bigger than us. Of course I want to be back, but it's been years. We've gone nowhere closer. I just want you to be happy.
I think the ship sailed on that a little while ago.
You hear footsteps coming up the stairs, and our lovely resident sunwife comes into view, having searched for, the source of the breaking, crashing glass noise.
So as Zake starts hearing noises of someone approaching, he'll just slowly whisper to Lena, "Just promise me you'll think about it." And then grab her head and just long kiss on the forehead. And stand up.
And then Faris would appear, already looking like she's been in a fight today. A few cuts and bruises, dings in the
One
armor and
HP
stuff.
club.
She's got 5 now. She's got 5 because the person who Lena wants to kill gave her a healing potion.
She'll die like all the rest.
And she has her spear drawn, looking very cautious. And, Faris out looking for a fight or for someone to protect.
Aha! Esteemed Solaris.
Oh, you decided to deign us with your presence again.
Well, I didn't decide anything. It just happens.
You don't usually appear with so much noise.
I believe I was not the source of the noise this time.
Oh, I'm sorry, Ferris. I knocked over some bottles.
It's okay. You should probably know I brought a guest back with me. I need to talk to you actually, Lena.
All right.
I'll leave you alone. Do you know if
You don't have
Following's
to...
in? No, it's fine. I'll just... Is Following in?
I mean, I just got back. I don't think anyone else is here yet.
Alright, well, I'll...
So
I'll
Alika
check.
is unconscious in my room, just so you know.
Oh! Unconscious, like... Unconscious?
She goes very red. No, she asked me to do some work. We got into a battle and there was this weird petrification gas. I took her to a doctor. She's okay, but she needs to rest. So I just thought I'd bring her back here. But she also...
Yeah, I think... Go ahead.
She
Sorry,
also
go
had a woman with her called Raina Devichin.
Oh, did she?
And I heard you give that name to Darrenelle, who also turned up looking for her.
Huh.
Oh,
I figured you just gave him some kind of bullshit fake name. I didn't think there was a real person behind it.
Well, that plan clearly didn't work. And I think Lena looks over and say "Oh, holy shit! Are you all right?" And pulls your cloak to the side. Expert in diversion. Pulls your cloak to the side, and be like,
I guess as you're going to pull the cloak to the side, he just grabs your hands, mildly stronger than usually. Yeah. Everything's fine. I'll just go down, see who's in the house.
We're all totally fine.
Yeah. So, be right back. And he hastily makes his way down the stairs and desperately tries to look for the doctor.
This leaves us with Faris and Megan. Not Megan, Lena.
I'm not I just want to know if this is someone we need to be worried about.
yes. Or it's somebody that I am worried about. I'm not here to tell you what decisions you need to make, but I need you to know that I am going to kill that woman, and if you stand in my way, I'm not going to be able to hold back.
Okay. Well,
She, in another life, killed somebody very dear to me. And I came here looking for her.
I'm sorry. I wish I'd known when I met her,
Well,
but I guess there's nothing that could have been done about that.
Right.
I mean, she's clearly a very capable fighter, and I've seen her fight. If you want someone to help you take her down.
I appreciate that very much, Ferris. This is a fight that needs to be mine. But should I require assistance, I will call you.
I understand. I don't know how close her and Alika are, but she did say it was the first time they'd worked together, so hopefully there's no close ties there.
Hopefully not. I apologize because it was never my intention to pull anybody else into business that was mine. I don't want you having to be wrapped up in any of this.
I mean, you weren't to know that Alika would specifically hire me and her for a job the very next day.
I don't know. I can't even speak to her intentions. I just know my own.
Well, she was very helpful to me, but obviously I imagine that was before she knew I knew you. Unless she's a very good actor.
I mean, I don't know. She somehow knew that this is where I lived. She was here.
She was here.
That probably. No, like a few moments ago, she was here.
Oh.
So she knew that it's me. She knows that we are here. I don't know if I've made trouble for the rest of us.
Well, it may also be partly my fault, given that I gave her the name of the place, not realizing. Well, she was here with Alika when she turned up, so she already knew that I lived here. But I don't know how she knew that you lived here too.
Right. Well, I have no doubt that she will be back. And
then we'll be vigilant.
Yeah. I don't do much sleeping lately anyway, so I'll be looking out.
Well, same. My bed is now otherwise occupied, so.
Yeah, I feel like we need to have a talk with everybody about how many extra bodies are around.
Yeah, I'm actually not entirely sure how many people are in this flat, and not entirely sure how many people are meant to be.
Right, is this
like health and safety capacity wise?
Yeah. That doesn't seem. I mean, Zake's only here, I don't know, 60% of the time, so I guess that doesn't really count, but.
Are we going to get a knock on the door from someone being like, you're clearly trying to...
As we mentioned, health and safety capacity, I think we pop over to the doctor's room with a knock at the door.
Out of Zake's room, the doctor goes, "Oh, you're back."
Why do I even ask? You have a minute?
Sure.
It's, to chat. Looks around, see if Lena is spying somewhere.
What is up, as the kids would say?
Which room is not with the infectious patients?
My room has the infectious ones. See the biohazard right there.
Oh, that makes sense. So I guess we shall go to my room.
Oh, yeah. One moment. Just go in and be like... And then our lovely postman comes out of the room.
Oh. Hello?
Hi, Zakar.
I think we've met once or twice.
I deliver your mail.
Oh, that's true. Sorry, memory. I'll just have to use my room for a second, so if you can wait outside, it's fine. Or if you're done, you can leave.
Are you sure you want it? There's another couple people in there.
Wait.
Just looks at the doctor.
Oh, I forgot about them. Didn't even see them in there. Just wheel people out. Alright, get this one out too.
As that's happening, the door opens and in come a couple children.
Hello, new pack. I brought a friend.
Hi,
Um,
I'm Everett.
You're back.
Ro?
Hello. I come over and give Zake a lick on their hand, and I'm like, "This is my friend Everett. He's gonna stay in my room."
When you lick Zake's hand, you taste a familiar taste of blood.
Were you hunting?
Yeah, actually.
Oh, need anything good?
Nope.
Like a bear?
Nope.
Oh. Well, if you're still hungry, then we're gonna go make some soup. We made some earlier, but we didn't get to actually have any, so we're gonna try again.
People were mean.
They were mean.
Okay, so soup. All right, sure.
I will
Go
point out
ahead.
that these kids are also like hasted still, so they're just zooming.
We're like kids on like too much caffeine.
It's like
Did Mr. Bazinga give you a lot of donuts again?
Oh, he didn't have that many left when we were coming through to talk to him on the way up here, but that's okay, because I mean, it'll go back to normal soon, and that's good, because it means we can make the
Ro?
soup really, really fast.
Ro.
Yes, hi.
All right, go start the soup. I just need to do something real fast, and then I'll come and help. How does that sound?
Yeah, that sounds great, because our first soup didn't come out so good. I guess bananas aren't good for soup. Come on, Everett!
As they just
Apples.
zoom out of the scene,
maybe
Zake
if we
turns,
cut the apples into pieces.
Oh, that's a great idea.
as they zoom out, Zake just turns to the doctor. Bananas? What?
Children.
Anyway.
are children.
And Zake at this point kind of walks inside the room and waits for the doctor to follow. Closes the door and shifts the half cape out of the way. Help?
And the doctor just kind of like walks over and just kind of like wraps his arms around Zake and gives him nice 2 pats on the back. Don't worry. As white light emanates out of his hands and casts heal on you, bringing you back to maximum because of course he would cast heal.
Ooh. Thank you.
What happened?
It was the stalker again. The one I told you about. It's quite a dreadful creature, but they really like it when it's gone, and I understand why. I mean, it is quite dangerous.
Yes, it sounds so. You should be more careful. Don't want to one day have... You don't want Alina to, instead of seeing your happy face, see a corpse appear.
Yeah. Well, I'm just hoping that if that happens, then I just don't come back. I think that's for the best. So here's to wishing.
I think not knowing sometimes is worse. How worried do you think Lena would be? Just never came back. Just, I know you do, but promise you'll be as careful as possible.
I try, Falwyn. I try. Seriously. But I can't describe it. It's different there. Your senses are all scrambled. Your equal times hunting and being hunted. Everything sounds eerie and quiet and silent and sad. Hard to focus. But I guess that's part of the environment to make you feel lost and weak, so larger things can prey on you.
even an inkling of why you always hold back there.
I think something went wrong. I was supposed to be there forever, but Alina's necklace, I remember, I have faint memories of trying to hold it, grab at it, while I was being sent to the other place. And I guess it just acts as an anchor.
Well, you can always come to me. Whenever this happens.
Thank you. I mean, I just don't want Lena to worry more than she already does. So if you can, yeah, let's just keep it between us, as usual.
Doctor-patient confidentiality.
Yeah, I mean, whatever you want to call it. Just don't tell her anything. We should check on the kids because they might be burning down the kitchen.
Yeah, you
Right.
go ahead. I need to just start rolling people back in.
I feel like Ferris and Lena come downstairs as Zeke and Falwyn come out, and you all just kind of converge in the kitchen. I feel like our last ending shot, so to speak, is just what Ro and Everett have done to the kitchen, of which I'm going to give Sam complete creative control.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
So get ready for some Kiki flashbacks, because as you come into the kitchen and open the door, there's just sort of this plume of like smoke starting to come out, and there's like Ro standing on the counter with like all of the cupboards open looking for stuff, and Everett's like standing on crates like over the stove where there's like stuff on a burner, you know, there's like an empty box like kind of like on the fire, there's you know, maybe a kitchen rag that's starting to catch, and he's like stirring this big pot that's bigger than like both of them. And I'm like, I think maybe we need some more seasoning. What was that thing that you put in the earlier soup, because that smelled real good? Oh, hi. I just like turn around, there's like salt and flour on my face.
I'm gonna pull the towel that's catching on fire away.
Bro, this
real
is
no
quick.
actions are taken. We are done now. That's the end of our session.
Oh god. And the tower
And
burns
then the
down.
tower burned down.
The
yeah.
tower burns down. There is no episode 5.
Like, you know the opening of Who Framed Roger Rabbit? That's still the cartoon sequence where Roger like trashes the kitchen like by accident. That's pretty much what you all walk in on.
Oh no. What were you raised by wolves? Oh.
Well,
Well about that.
Oh my God. So this episode was a little different. I was trying to get the mood, like how people feel about this.
that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
that
How
was
dare you.
fantastic.
It's not like I entirely framed this entire episode conception so I could introduce Nare to Ferris without letting Lena stab her immediately. It's almost that totally wasn't the entire
How
setup that birthed
Dare
this.
you.
Was that really
can't
the
even
purpose of our pet talk before?
You almost killed me twice. You can't let me have one little murder?
No.
I'm actually looking forward to you
Just a little
melting
bit.
when you find out what an ardent is.
I crave
In this-
violence.
I can't wait.
To be fair, he balanced it by almost killing Ferris and Zeke in this episode.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you know how
Somebody
close I
give
was
me
to just smiting Darrenelle just for fun? Just like,
Oh my god.
Yeah, he probably has too much health.
yeah.
Even if you two died off camera for the other. Jeez.
And then imagine if that happened and then I rolled a 1 and Faris is just like, Darrenelle is just in my head all the time.
Oh, that'd be
Capitalism,
fantastic.
capitalism. That's all it would be.
Faris,
Faris
go
comes
oppress the
back-
masses.
Ferris comes back home and is like, you know what? I feel like capitalism has some very valid points.
You know, lowering the taxes for the rich would probably create a good trickle down.
Capitalism.
I hate it. I hate it so much.
Speaking of things I hate. Thanks,
I think I
Zake
heard
and Doctor.
Oh yeah, that was great.
Wait, what happened?
Secret things.
We're fighting.
Oh.
Fighting now.
Like, I love the pain, but thanks, I hate it.
You know, like friendship ended with Zeke. Now Faris is my best friend.
Now Ferris is best friend. Somebody make me a really bad-looking meme of that with the character art.
Yeah.
Friendship ended with Zeke.
Yeah.
Now Ferris is best friend.
Oh dear lord.
Oh no.
I think Ferris was always.
It
best
was
friend.
fun.
Yeah. But no, that was fun. Nat.
That was
Oh my
that was
face
so
hurts.
wonderful. Oh my
That
god, that
was
was so good.
That was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Thank you for my wife and for my life.
Yeah, that's good shit.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you for
shall
the
we?
pain.
Oh, oh, there's more coming. I really wanted you to find out what an art it was this session, but I just
Oh no.
Lena
Don't
didn't
worry.
share enough.
Don't worry, it'll just fester in the back of my mind for the next 7 days.
As will the
Don't
question
worry.
of what the hell Arvis wants with me.
He just wants to be
fine.
friends.
And why he can just like disappear.
Yeah.
Yeah, what
Yeah,
What
also
the
hate
fuck?
that.
Yeah,
I
no.
was
Oh,
trying
why
to
doesn't
describe an
Faris trust
illusion
me?
disappearing.
Why
Yes,
doesn't
but-
Faris trust
I
me?
got that.
He
Where
wasn't
is he?
complaining about it. He was quite conceited to the fact.
Yeah, it was more like Ferris doesn't trust me. Full stop.
I mean. Oh my gosh.
Listen, I'm gonna kill Dart because I don't trust him. Just FYI.
I mean, he's stealing
I'm
all,
sure-
all your patience.
Yeah,
so.
Dart coming. I love doing the reverse. It's like Dart was here, and then Dart's coming at Arvis's house. It's just like, wait, what's the poop?
No, don't
Yeah,
kill Dart
I like
because we
that.
can't keep any more patients in our house.
Yes.
There are too many people in this house.
Yeah, it's like one of those snake games where you eat them and then you have to
And then
absorb
you-
all their patients.
And then on the back.
Everyone
But
comes
you
up to the.
you can't hit any of the patients, and it just gets faster and faster.
Doctor's just like, but
We
I
hate
have
it.
zoning rights. It says I am allowed to have 8 patients at one time.
How many do we have, Doctor? Oh, 24?
No. I have 5 patients currently. I don't
I
know
have
where
one.
everyone else came from.
One of these days, Lena walks downstairs from like taking a nap at the telescope, and there's like patients in her room. It's like, oh, I thought you weren't using it.
Oh,
Well,
Very well.
should
You
we
don't
go
know.
around and tell the lovely people where to find us on the internet?
Yes.
We should probably
Robert,
do that thing.
I
Our
suppose.
lovely technician, please. Oh, by the way, Texel, kick ass, Robert. Thank you so
Yes,
much.
Robert.
Huge
Robert, why don't you kick
Yeah,
Robert for
thank you.
amazing.
Many overlays.
Yay.
It was
Yeah, all
okay.
the overlays. switching
Wow,
up.
much
Oh, Robert.
overlay.
screwed up one of them, so whatever.
Nope, they were perfect.
Hi. Camera's over there. Hi, I am Robert Allen, voice actor. You can find me on the Twitters and the Twitchers at Voices of Robert. Actually, tomorrow, I'm pretty sure. It depends on how certain things go in the morning, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to be streaming some New World on my Twitch channel. So if anybody wants to see that cool new, like, sandboxy MMO-esque game from Amazon, they currently have the beta preview out coming out next year. I'm going to be playing a bit of that. It's a cool game. But other than that, that's it. And I'm gonna hand it down to our resident pain person.
Pain person.
Hello, I am Megan, and I am the avatar of Painbot from Teen Titans Go. Hello. You can find me most places on the internet at Megan Lynn for the win. It's Megan Lynn FTW. Yeah, where I'm usually on Twitter screaming about TTRPGs, usually masks, because I now just run a masks fan account. That's all my life is now. You can find me here, obviously, with these amazing people, and just being chock full of pain. You can find me also every month here on Chromatic Chimera. I host a show called Unprepared, where I facilitate GMless and prepless indie games for a rotating cast of people. which is super fun. So stay tuned. That'll be, I know on my calendar for me, I believe it's the 29th. It's the last Tuesday in the month, this month. I also write and design games. You can find them at meganlynftw.itch.io. I think they're pretty cool. So you can check them out there. And I think that's it. So I will send it over to the Sunwife, who I think is there, but is probably there because my directions are really messed up.
I have no idea where anyone is on the overlay because I can't have Twitch open or everything crashes.
Tuesday.
So yeah, hi, I'm Izza, and I played Sunwife / Wine Aunt / Badass Barris. And you can find me at Evil Clever Dog on Twitter and Instagram. I'm a cosplayer and a set and costume designer, and you can find my cool cosplay stuff there. Instagram, it's easier to find it. And you can also find me streaming Pokemon Black with my friend Finn tomorrow on their Twitch channel, twitch.tv/FinnTheBin with 2 N's. So come check that out if you want to watch us talk about Pokemon and also rip on Ben Shapiro, because that's all we talk about right now. So yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Nuno next to me on the...
It is indeed.
Yeah.
It is I. So I shall take it from you and say, hello everyone, I am Nunu. I played only a little bit for today, but hopefully next week I'll be here for the entire session. Play Zeke, not the pain bot, but the pain inflictor, I guess, in this case. You're welcome, Megan. And yeah, you can find me online.
We will have words.
Oh no. You can find me online wherever you find people online at jnunutex. And I play here with lovely people on Monday, but before at 3 p.m. EDT. You can find me over on twitch.tv/Encounter Roleplay playing a mess of a Game of Thrones inspired A Song of Ice and Fire RPG campaign, which is a lot of fun. It's a mess, but it's super fun. So if you like Game of Thrones, go and check that out. Apart from that, there's nothing else I want to say except for Sam. Please.
Oh, thank you. Hey everyone, I am Sam. You can find me on Twitter at @TheSamWisest. I'm Samwise_GameG here on Twitch. I'm one of the admins here at the Chimera. I'm our accessibility director. You can find me right back here. I will be here tomorrow for our monthly game Elsewhere, and on Wednesday for our fantasy age show Agora's Bells. Otherwise, coming up this September on Wednesday the 16th at 2 p.m. I'm actually going to be in a panel for PAX Online for Aero, Aces, and Demis in creative spaces. So come and check that out. Let's get some Aero and Demi love out there. So check that out.
Yeah.
I'm really excited. Yeah. And I will be here on Sunday the 20th, guest starring over on our Fate Accelerated game, Awakens Pixels. So come and check that out. I am working on my character and it's gonna be ridiculous. So that's me, and I'll pass it over to our guide, Nat.
Hi. I'm Nat. I've been your guide today. I hope you've enjoyed and shared a wonderful show with us tonight. Before I get into me, I'm going to go for our sponsors, which are Chimera's sponsor, Tabletop Loot. You can use code SHIELDBOMB for 15% off. Also, Heartbeat Dice, which you can use code Chromatic, all caps, SHIELDBOMB's all lowercase, Chromatic's all caps, for 10% off. And Chromatic Chimera is also part of the Roll20 Spotlight program. Thank you for the support. I'm Nat. I've been your guide. I am a freelance layout designer, editor, and game designer. Hire me. You can find me here every Monday being the guide for these lovely folks, which is honestly just the highlight of my week. Like, just full stop. This is great. You can also find me tomorrow for our last episode of GM Tips, Tricks, and Tuesdays over at Kobold Press's Twitch channel at 8 Eastern time. Time zones are hard, friends. We started this whole run with tips for new game masters. We're ending with tips for longtime game masters. You want to come by, have part of the conversation. We do basically all questions from chat. That's the entire show most of the time. I'm probably forgetting something, but thanks for tuning in. Today was really fun. And you audience out there, you make it. I mean, also
Seriously.
players, but like,
Thank you.
fuck them. It's you, audience.
Thanks to everybody
Yes,
who
you
came
guys-
to hang out.
Y'all are amazing. So thank you so much for coming and spending your evenings with us, or your afternoons, or whatever time.
Whatever time.
We defy time zones here.
There are no time zones.
You have no power here.
They do.
You guys really are wonderful, though.
Seriously,
Nunu says
thank
before he
you.
goes back to writing science things.
Oh, kill me already.
No.
Poor Nunu.
Okay.
Only a little left. Not much longer.
Yes.
Thanks
Alrighty, folks.
everyone for being here, though. We love you.
Yeah, we're gonna raid our friend Eris Savad, who's got a Clockwork Vines Call of Cthulhu finale going on over there. So stick around.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Good night.
Robert, take us home.